Do you have an unsupported system running Windows 11 and now you want to upgrade to the new 22H2 without losing your data? If that's the case, then this video is definitely for you, because I'm not only going to show you how to do it, but it's really not that hard. Stay tuned. So, we got the potato back for another Windows 11 video. Many of you guys have followed my other guides on how to install Windows 11 on unsupported hardware. If so, then you should recognize this system because it's been the test system for all of my Windows 11 setup guides on unsupported hardware. This system has an AMD FX 4300 with 8 gigs of RAM, and it's also, of course, running an SSD. The CPU in this thing is officially 10 years old with a release date of October 2012. This system fails every single requirement for Windows 11. So, let's run Windows 11 on it anyway. So through the power of video editing, let's get it hooked up. That's much better. So hopefully this guide will not be removed like both the others were. I couldn't get much information from YouTube, but apparently the reason why the last two videos were removed was because they were reported by someone. Now luckily though, YouTube did restore both videos, but not before countless attempts at trying to appeal the false reports. But either way, for the sake of YouTube's moderators, I decided to put this at the beginning of the video to appeal to them to not remove this video. This guide doesn't in any way constitute software piracy. In order to follow this guide, you must have a valid license for Windows 11 or a legitimate license for a previous version of Windows that qualifies for a free upgrade. So, without wasting any more time, let's get this potato upgraded. Okay, so here we go. We're in Windows 11. If I click on the Start menu, go into Settings right here. I'm just going to scroll down real fast just to show you that I am in fact running 21H2, and our goal here is to upgrade this to 22H2. So the first thing that we need to do is get ourselves a copy of 22H2. Okay, what you need to do is go to Microsoft's website and download the Media Creation Tool. I've shown you how to do this tons of times before, so if you need instructions, just go back to one of my other Windows 11 install videos and I'll give you details. Otherwise, it's a pretty simple process. Just get yourself a blank thumb drive and make yourself a copy of Windows 11. The latest Media Creation Tool will be 22H2, so go ahead and download it, make yourself a USB, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take our USB drive. I'm going to plug it into my computer here. And once I do, it auto plays. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And we're going to go ahead and run the setup program one time without doing anything, just so I can show you the error that comes up. And it's going to take a minute for the setup to start. It has to do its preparations and things of that nature. But once it gets through that, it'll get into the setup process. And you know what? We can close this in the background right here. Okay, here we go. The install Windows 11, we're going to go ahead and hit next. And then from here, it's going to check for updates. And I may skip through this a little bit just to kind of make it go a little bit smoother because there's no point in you guys suffering through the same things I'm looking at. Okay, so here it's checking the PC to see if it's compatible. And there we go. This PC doesn't currently meet the Windows 11 system requirements. Well, that's funny because I'm literally on Windows 11, but that's okay. Let me show you how to fix this. We're going to go ahead and close this now. It's going to take a couple seconds to clean up and then close. And then what we need to do is open up a browser window and we're going to go to GitHub to a project called MediaCreationTool.bat. I'll go ahead and leave a link to this in the description below, but honestly, we're not even interested in this project itself, although this is a really cool project. Essentially, what it does is it allows you to download the install media for every build of Windows 10 and 11 ever made. So it is a neat little program to play around with, but we're not covering that today. What we're covering is a script that comes with this project. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click on code here and go download zip file. And then once it downloads, we can go ahead and open the folder that this is located in. I'm going to close my browser real quick, and then we're going to extract this zip file right here. So go ahead and hit extract, and it should extract it in the same place. And it automatically opens it up. And then from here, what you want to do is go into this folder and then go into this folder here called bypass 11. And then from here, we're interested in this skip TPM check on dynamic update. So I'm going to go ahead and click this real quick. And it's going to give us a warning. We're going to hit more info and hit run anyway. Hit yes to the command prompt. So once it's installed, you should be good to go. It'll close automatically. Now from this point, what we want to do is we want to go back to our USB drive. So we're going to click here and we're going to click on setup. And we're going to go through the setup process exactly like we just did that gave us that error. So it's going to take a second for setup to install, so just be patient. And you're going to notice once this starts that it says it's installing Windows Server. But don't be alarmed, it's not actually installing Windows Server. Now, this is something that I should have mentioned the last time I covered this method, and I didn't, and I got a lot of questions down in the comments because of it. Yes, it does say it's installing Windows Server, but it's not actually installing Windows Server. The way this workaround works is it actually uses the installer for Windows Server instead of the regular versions of Windows to get around the requirements for Windows 11. Now, it still's installing from the same source, which is on the USB drive, which is going to be just the regular Windows 11. So go ahead and disregard the fact that it says server and just move on. Okay, so from this point, we're going to go ahead and hit next, and it's checking for updates just like it did before. And some of this process may actually take some time, but go ahead and just be patient and you'll get through it. Okay, so we got by that first screen. It looks like it's not going to stop us for our system requirements. Go ahead and accept the license agreement. And then from this point, it asks you, what do you want to keep? So we want to keep our files, setting, and apps because we want to do an upgrade here. Go ahead and hit next. And then it's checking for updates for the installer. Unfortunately, a lot of this process is going to take some time. If you have a potato computer like mine, then unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait. It's one of the downsides of running Windows 11 on an unsupported system. It's slow. I mean, what can I say? Okay, so now we're on the next stage, making sure you're ready to install. So we're almost there. Hopefully, this setup's going to go without a hitch. Please wait is a comment you're going to have to get used to running unsupported hardware in Windows 11, unfortunately. Okay, so we're at the next stage now, making sure your PC has enough space. And this may seem like it's going fast for you, but unfortunately, I've cut this thing apart. So luckily, it saved you some time. But for me, yeah, it is what it is. So here, we're ready to install Windows 11 Pro, keep files, apps, and settings. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the install button. And there we go. Okay, so this install is going to take quite some time, especially, like I said, if you have an unsupported system like mine that's a decade old, it might take a while. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and speed up the process, and once it's done, I'll see you back in Windows. All right, looks like we're almost done. Luckily, you guys didn't have to go through that, but unfortunately, it took a while to set this thing up, maybe about a half hour to do the update altogether. But we're almost there. And now, just to double check, we're going to click on Start. We're going to go into Settings. And we're going to scroll down to About. And there we go, 22H2. And as you can see, this is an AMD FX 4300 quad-core processor with 8 gigs of RAM. So it's the same system currently running Windows 11 Pro 22H2. So there's one more thing I want to show you before we leave, and this is we actually ran a script that changed some things within Windows in order to make this happen. So if you'd like to revert those changes, it's really easy. You come down here, open up your Downloads folder, same place where you downloaded the Media Creation Tool earlier from GitHub. Go ahead and open this folder up, and then you want to go back to the Bypass 11 folder. And then from there, you want the skip TPM check on dynamic update. This is the same script that you ran at the very beginning, but when you ran it before, it installed the changes. Now, if you run the script again, we're going to say yes to the user account control, and right here you can see that it's been removed. So if you remove this, you won't be able to upgrade to Windows 11 anymore, but we already have 22H2, so that's okay. We don't really need to upgrade. We'll just have to run that script every time when we want to upgrade to the next build. However, if you'd like to take the changes away between those updates, that's how you do it. Personally, I think if you leave it enabled, it's not going to hurt anything, but I just wanted to let you know how to disable it. So, as you can see, it is relatively easy to upgrade an unsupported system to 22H2. Just like I've said in the past, I think the way Microsoft is going to handle this is by stopping people from installing build updates. I don't believe they're going to deprive people of critical updates and feature updates. At least that's been the practice so far. And you know, ultimately, Microsoft doesn't want you running out-of-date software. So I think the only reason why these workarounds actually function is because Microsoft allows them to continue to function. They could easily patch the installer to stop these methods from working. They know that a standard user isn't going to go to these links in order to run the latest copy of Windows 11. The people doing this are enthusiasts like you and me. They will always leave a method for us to continue to update systems. At least that's just my opinion, and I very well could be wrong. However, with that said, I think I changed my recommendation on whether or not you should run Windows 11 on unsupported hardware. Before, I said it probably wasn't a great idea if it's a system that you relied on. However, now I believe that we have enough data to suggest that you could run Windows 11 on a system that you relied on with very little trouble. But ultimately, that's going to be up to you to decide. You also have to keep in mind that these systems are not getting any younger. I mean, just because you can run Windows 11 doesn't mean that your system should run Windows 11. This is an AMD FX, and it's starting to get really slow. If you have a system that's just outside of compatibility, then you're probably fine. But if you have a system as old as this one, then you should really consider whether or not the performance hit is worth it to run Windows 11. You know, Windows 10 is still under support and will be for several more years. Also, Windows 11 21H2 should be under support for a while, so it's not a requirement to update to 22H2 quite yet. But if you'd like to know what's new in 22H2, then check out this video here where I highlight some of the new features in the latest update to Windows 11. You guys have a great day.